Seniac uploads Falls Kingdom video. Me looks at the year and sees 2077 Karens calling their managers because Seniac didn't give them an airport. Seniac, everybody has to now pay toll on Toll Town. Me takes the ferry to Toll Town, hops on the space elevator and does the Felix jump above Oil Town. Lol. Seniac, is my mod still broken? Mod. Rocky error, Seniac. The C when Seniac says planes. Phew. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Falls Kingdom here in City Skylines. Where last episode, guys, we added in a brand new type of import-export availability to the kingdom. And that was the cargo airport. We implemented one in Oil Town, which has gone really well. It's gone down quite a storm. We've implemented one in the Falls Kingdom as well, which has really opened up a brand new area for some new industrial kind of stuff, some bits and bobs, which is what we're going to take a look at building today. And also, we need to get a few more airports in other kingdoms so we can really disperse the cargo with planes and import and export a whole lot more goods without overloading our trains and all of our ships. Now, if you guys have been enjoying Falls Kingdom here in City Skylines, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're under right here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. But we're back, boys. We are back and we're ready to give it some big ones because today is expansion day. I'm telling you this for free. You ain't gonna pay no money for this knowledge. Secrets right now. So yeah, this is what we added in last episode. Beautiful. Now, we had a lot of vehicles coming over here, but then until I implemented in the little train line, it's not the best. It does run through this train station, but it is what it is at this moment. It really has reduced the amount of vehicles going over there. We still have some vehicles going over here right now, but it's nowhere near the amount that we had before, which is really good. So we kind of have not solved the problem because we're always going to have a little backlog of vehicles going over there, but we really have gave the cargo alternative routes to go places. Now, at the moment, it's either flying out the region or flying all the way over to the Falls Kingdom, to which we got set up just over here. Now, I believe if I check out the plane lines, airplane path, we have this one that runs directly across here. I think that might be the only one. I don't believe we have a secondary one in. No, I don't believe we do. So that's only, you know, if some of them were crisscrossed all over the place. That's going to Springfield. That's going to Jalabad, if that's how you pronounce it. That has just came from Springfield itself. We're doing a lot of trading with Springfield right now. Is this a rival kingdom that no one knows about? I don't know. But anyway, I want to get a few more kind of kingdoms set up then. So the first one that kind of comes to mind, and I asked you guys last episode what kingdom should get one next, and I think everybody was kind of like unanimous. Like, yo, Karen's Crops needs one. Veganville, they're going to be super mad if we don't give them one, which is true. Absolutely true. We do need to give them one. And I think the perfect location would be on this side here. Now, at the moment for Veganville, the import-export comes in via ship over here or comes in via vehicle on this road if you're coming from a different kingdom. We have two cargo train lines all just set up over here, which all funnel down to over here. So really, if anything's coming in for the big town area, it's coming from over here on this side. So I think it would be a good idea to get something over here set up. I really do think so. Then we can kind of disperse, even though the actual imports exports are not that crazy in this area, but it needs that, you know, little extra kind of thing going on. I think there's a lot of goods being sold right now for these silos. So let's get one set up then. So we're going to create a trumpet junction. No, actually, you know what? No, not a trumpet junction. We'll actually create a roundabout. That seems a little bit more reasonable to kind of get in. So I'll utilize just a standard road, and let's do the one with the trees, because I'm thinking it will be quite nice. So if I select the point, and I need to select the point where we got the biggest, yeah, there we go, the most amount of room to kind of implement a roundabout in. Now if I come down by 25, now this is going to be interesting, because I don't know if I'm able to kind of get it in perfectly. So if I just kind of do this real quick, like that. And if I drop an airport in right now, cargo airport, yeah, it's a little bit too close to the edge, but I need enough space to drop a roundabout in there and allow the cargo and the vehicles to kind of drive in. They're gonna hate me for this, guys. They're gonna hate me for this. But vegans! I must claim a little bit of land and, I don't know how to tell you this, slightly make the fishes' homes a little bit smaller. Will you forgive me, ye old vegans? Will you forgive me? There's like, he's destroying the fishes' homes! How dare he! The fishes have got nowhere to live! I'm so sorry, vegans. Like, you're gonna have to call your manager, okay? Well, that's not perfectly in line with this, is it? Give or take, give or take. So that could actually go there, almost. Just need to go a little bit more to the side. Once I've built the airport down, we'll kind of reconfigure this. So I can't do anything right now until the water has dispersed, because it's classing that I'm building on top of water right now. So we'll have a little bit of fast forward. And okay, now we can get it in. So if I can get this lined up just right. Bam, just there. Which then means we've got this beautiful little space on the edge right now, which we can have planes landing in and out. And we are now going to smooth... I'll pause the smoothing him. So actually, if I go for like a slightly bigger brush size just here. Pull this out on the land. I mean, I don't really want to cut it all the way up to the edge like that. So I think, yeah, what I'll do, I'll come out quite wide, because then it'll give me enough space then to kind of make the edges a whole lot smoother. So bring it up to there, and then just keep pushing it back as much as possible. So if I up the brush size again, there's only so much you're going to be able to get done before it looks a little bit ridiculous. And then if I bring the brush size down at that point, cut that across there, and then smooth it on a smaller angle, smaller scale. Just take the edges off slightly. And I think we'll just naturally... I mean, I don't know how it looks doing like a big oval versus... I mean, again, I suppose it depends on where the water kind of ends. Ooh, it's getting awfully close, that water, isn't it, boys? It's getting awfully close right now. Yikes! I think it's because it's overflowing the actual land itself, isn't it? Right, okay, we'll give us a time for that to pass by, but I might just cause a tsunami. May have just caused a tsunami. Yeah, it's now dipping back down again, and we'll kind of find a natural little playing field. So, I can't really do anything right now until that's all settled. Well, I do the power in the water. Oh, you need water? You have plenty of water by the looks of it. Oh, you want actual piped water? Drinking water? Not fresh salt water? Yikes. Right, I'm not liking the big oval, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select about here and then cut that across to there. Smoothing this area right here. Pull that back to about there. And I think that would be good. It looks like almost like a natural man-made expansion in many ways. And we'll let it sort itself out before I need to like kind of arch the roads around. But it looks like we're already starting to get vehicles heading over here, which is pretty interesting. If I just run this power line directly up. Well, I tried to until the water got in the way. Hurry up, water! Disappear! What's the Harry Potter spell? Expelliarmus! Is that the one that makes people disappear? It feels like it would. It feels like if there was a Harry Potter spell to make stuff disappear, that would be the one. Right, still cannot build on water. And so if that last bit to disappear... There we go. We finally now have power. So, want to get rid of you and you real quick. Because we are going to create... Now that is a 10 away. So we're doing a 5 by 5. 5 by 5. And I could do a little V here, but it depends on how much traffic we're going to see. I won't do a roundabout just yet. We'll kind of just see what happens with the traffic before we decide what we're going to do. So Vegansville now has a cargo airport all set up. Glorious, beautiful. And we'll give them time to realize and now change their routes and understand what is possible, what they can do. And we'll just ultimately see what happens from it. We have room to extend and add in and implement a train line at some point. So I don't quite know if they'll need it just yet. What issues we got over here? Do we actually have any services over here? No. Right, police. Fire. Medical. we'll throw just over here. So it will seep down to here. It's not perfect in this area, but just got the bare minimum. Maybe some death care wouldn't go amiss. Place it just here. It's a smallerish building. That'll make these guys happy and cause some sweet, sweet upgrades. Very good, very good, very good. Now, did I add in services for over here? I did, didn't I? Yep, yep. Do we have death care? Well, death care is there. Medical center, yep. They have services. They're not the greatest of services, but it is what it is. Now, do I implement a huge cargo airport on the top of this mountaintop, or is that just too ridiculous? I'll think about that. It might be a thing. If we start to see a lot of traffic on this junction, then I'll implement the roundabout, but I'll leave it for now. Let's take a look at the industrial kind of stuff that I want to get set up over here. So this road is... What is all this stuff here? Is this like... Oh, that's when I was kind of playing around with building that weird junction that we got set up. So... Oh, that's not the button. There we go. Delete those. I thought they were like ancient monuments then for a second. That was really weird. And, okay, so we'll get some industrial road on the go. And we'll slowly start to create a little industrial area. Now, we've got to be a little bit careful that we basically don't go too crazy. I might have to build a small miniature roundabout on that point. So if I come up by 20... Right. If I come up by 20 there, and if I came up by 10 here... I mean, technically, I want to go by 11. Or do I want to go by 10? No, I'll stick it to 10. Just so it kind of falls into play with all of this. So if I then bring that up by 10 to there. Then at some point, I don't quite know where the bend's going to be, but if I bring this down by 20, this and that is eventually going to match up. So that is... I'll do it this way. So 10 by 10 on that little bend there into here. And then we've got something going on. So 10 there. 10 there. And again, I'll see what I can do here. I'm trying to maximize the space. A 6 by 6. So we lost a 4 on that last one. Do I go for a third, maybe? I feel like I gotta go right back. So a third here will be a 7 by a 7. We really push the bend back at this point to kind of keep it all going around. And it kind of works, kind of goes all together. And I get rid of that. So we have like a little bit of an industrial park over here. And then... we'll run that to there, run this one to here. So if I delete that road to there for just a second, I will pump it back in, but I want to get it to the same length to here. Because I want to try and bend this all around going in that direction. So we know this cutting across at this point is a 20. So if I went up by a 20 mark there, we can then do a solid 10 by 10, then a 20 by 20 to kind of fully turn that in as we're creating the flow for this industrial park. So that would connect to there, that would connect to there, and now we've got some form of a grid going in this direction again to utilize this space. So I don't think that was quite a 10, was it? There we go. And we'll do one more. So granted, I've got to bulk up that road. Yeah, and all that kind of jazz. But then I'm going to then pretty much do a 10 by 10 bend here. And then a 20 by 20 bend there, again to maximize the space. And then finalize that off. That is our industrial park. That's actually not too bad, is it? I mean, it's like, it flows really nice. We are limited to how many kind of entry points that we do have in this area. And if I just kind of filter, well, not filter, but like build up this last bit of road to here, ends naturally there. And I could add in multiple areas again, but let's see what it would be like getting in a roundabout. Now, if I went for the 60, if I go for the what I would normally do, so a 2-lane highway, it could fit in here wonderful, right? Could fit in there wonderful, and without kind of messing around too much with, like, you know, lessening the 90-degree angles and kind of that stuff. And if I just get what's needed in to make it the junction that it is, it should be okay. You just never know. You just never know. But it's quite. I think we've utilized it very well without making it look really ridiculously like stupid or silly and all that. Now, it's not going to be complete dirty industrial. There is going to be offices over on this side. Okay, why all of a sudden did we lose out on water? That was very funky. There we go. So this whole area is now covered. In terms of electric, we don't really have it at the minute. Now, we have to do this quite smart on how we approach this. So I'm thinking the easily accessible direct routes will be dirty industrial. Like that. Like in blocks. Well, not too much of it is what I'm saying. And then the bits where we would probably see a lot of traffic, like on these, like exiting out, is offices. So we don't have vehicles trying to turn into a building. Here, it allowed the traffic to kind of flow through. So I'm actually going to make all this little section here dirty industrial, and that little bit to there. And then what we'll do then is fill all this little section there, leading all the way around with offices. And I think I'll start about here. Bring that all the way around to there, and then filter that this little section in. Bam. And we'll start with that, and then we'll initially see what the traffic kind of brings us, and then we'll go from there. So, nice little industrial area like we got over here. It's near an export area. I don't want to go too big and too crazy like how much stuff we've implemented over there, because you can see what the traffic brings us. I do have the ability, I know I've got to give it power, but I do have the ability to maybe eventually hook up a little slip road to connect to this section, so they can exit without overloading all of this. But again, we'll initially just see how it goes before we make that decision. Now, we do need power, and the power that we've got connected up to this bit, or the solar panels, is not going to be enough in the long run. So I'll run this to over here to give it power, and then it slowly just spend all of that industrial demand that we currently have to date. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It gets to utilize this a little bit more. Worst case scenario, I'll put like a little cargo station over there to stop them coming into the roundabout. But I don't feel like it's going to be kind of too overpowered. But we'll see. You just never know, do you? Honestly, you just never know how it could potentially play out. But it'll be interesting anyway. So now we built that, then let some time pass. How is it over here? I don't feel like we need a roundabout. Not yet anyway. Obviously, we do need a roundabout, don't get me wrong. But I feel like it's not a huge thing. Are people parking here to walk up to here so they don't have to park? Right, let's solve that. Is that the no parking restriction? Yeah, we get that down. So I don't know if it kind of brought anybody else up here, but we want the cars to park up there. That's kind of what we want them to do. And if I get rid of parking around here, try and push them to this car park. No parking on your own streets. I'm so sorry. But no parking around the park. I know it might push them to some other side streets, but you have a car park right here to utilize. Use it. Use it. Yeah. Bit quieter than I thought it would be, to be honest with you, that one. Surprises me. But then again, it does have solid connections to, like, the cargo lines and the train lines, so that's just pretty much the leftover vehicles who feel like these are a bit too far away to drive, so it's not the end of the world. It's still pretty good. Still pretty good. So this area is, again, slowly building all up. It will need the services, so I might as well get those in while we still can. Okay, where have I zoned it? Right, okay, so if I get medical... Hey, let me check out the zone again. Right. Start again. We'll do medical. I'll do policing. No, that's fire, sorry. Policing. All over here. So they've got the services, apart from death care, but there's death care nearby. So got those thrown in, which will aid them a little bit more. And we will need to also bring in the ability of public transport too. So this is now maybe where we take a look at sorting out where... Oh, there it is. That line just here. So if I go to the metro. So that line there, because we have this line going around all of the Falls Kingdom up to here. I could extend it to come over to here, but I don't think I'm going to. We have this line here. Like that. Do you know what? That line there should technically be extended over to the airport. Direct airport line. And then have that one running down, connecting to us. I could turn that into a big loop. Because it will end down to here. But I don't know how good of doing a loop that would be. Makes sense. Does kind of make sense. Unless I drop a transport hub here as well. That makes more sense, so I can kind of configure the rest of the crisscross. Right, if I was to drop one of them in, it's this one, isn't it? The bus metro hub with two, yeah. I would place it here. Right. Yeah, I'll place it here. Or do I place it here? No, I feel like I place it here. Or there. No, it goes here. Right, it's going to go there. I've made my mind up. Which enables us then to kind of walk from this side to get into it. And then, you know, everything's all connected. It's just a walking distance away. Which then that means, if I then bring up the metro line, I can finalize this line here. Oh, I'm going to take the anarchy off. Because it does mess up when I do that. I can finalize this line by coming all the way across. To connect up to there. You don't see it. So I can drag this, and then this line would end here. So everybody from even at this point can make it all the way around. But the main thing is anybody over on this side can transport over to there. Perfectly fine. So then what I'll do is I'll then add a stop here and then add a stop there. And then what we do is we create a brand new line that goes from here up to this way. So if you're over here, you haven't got to go all the way around. You can hop onto this line. It will connect straight up to there, which will end at the airport. But then these guys over here will have to get this line to then transfer there to go up to the airport, when I can then utilize that one there to the airport to end. So we have those alternative connections, which should really work out for us. But I think we should have one last line or one last stop here before it leaves this little section. So if I dropped in that there, so it's kind of nearby to the stadium, or do I pull it over here? You know, I'm going to actually put it there instead. Right, what did I get rid of to zone it? It was high density. There we go. And then there's nothing here at the minute, so there's no need for it, but there's a station nearby for the stadium. And then all I've got to do is just do your standard diagonal, because they can angle and turn on that. That's not a problem for them. And then just simply run this. So what we'll do for now is we'll run it in a straight line until we have... Oh, hang on. I'm connected to over here, aren't I? So if anything, if I bend that through like that, right there, bend that round to there. So it's just really, really like a simple line, nothing too fancy. That's going to come across here and bend into there. So I'm going to take it from this one. There we go. Simple line connected to there. And then we'll finish up with this one. So the slope is too steep on this. Really? Should I just anarchy it through? Right, I've anarchied it through there just to kind of get it through that area. And get that lined up just right. There we go. So, bunch of lines now intertwined and connecting the False Kingdom, which will look really good. So let's do this. Let's set this up then. So we have this line right now. There we go. That starts there, goes all the way around our original line, and now ends here at the industrial area. Now, if anybody who works over here wants to get to this industrial area, we're now going to have a brand new line that connects and starts from underneath. Stops at the stadium. Comes all the way to over here. Stops off at the industrial park. And then finishes at the airport. Then obviously makes its way back. All the way back down to the stadium. And stopping just here. So now the airport is actually now connected to the downtown area. So that's really good. We've now had a reason for it because we added this in. So that's pretty good. But it does mean if anybody over here wants to get the subway, or even over here to the airport, they've got to use this line all the way down to here to connect to there to go up to there. Or we can make them connect a bit earlier and then go around that way. And also connects these guys up to the airport without driving. So everything's all intertwined. We kind of got this. It's looking pretty good. So complete the line then. I think False Kingdom's had a huge infrastructure and public transport expansion right now. That's really good. Very good, might I say. So where all these are now complaining about there's not enough workers, now we have all these subway lines connected so the workers can transport over here so much easier. The reason I got the metro hub in here is because, one, we have those two little crisscross for the metro line, but I could also add in a bus route to collect people around this area to bring them in. But I haven't built it up as much just yet. Until we do a little bit more expansions, we'll go a bit more crazy. But yeah, basically I've given myself the option to pretty much do that. So that's interesting then. We'll see how that ticks along as time goes on. There's quite a few people using or heading on down to that subway line. Now, do you think we're going to need or want to utilize a bridge that connects over to the stadium? Or a tunnel, maybe? Just to get people connected to it on match day a little bit easier. We'll see what we can do. So we actually have a path connected here. So if I brought this path, say, from this point there, and then say we go down by -10, I'm going to anarchy this tunnel in. Alright, drop it to there. It's a bit funky, don't get me wrong. But that's just to create a little crossing. Up and over right now. For people to cross, well, yeah, for them to cross the road without actually going across the road, they go under it, obviously. Just to create like that easier on match day, when they, say if everybody comes to this subway, then they can get in over here easier. Also, we've got so many parked vehicles around here as well. How did I not, you know, think about sorting this out. So many parked vehicles. We got a big car park right there. Alright, no parked vehicles, please. I mean, I did some of it by the looks of it, but I didn't do all of it. So not all the vehicles are going to make their way over here. But we'll do what we can. So just within the radius of the football stadium, no parking. That way the stadium can benefit from people parking there. I know it's going to have a negative effect on some of the areas. But no parking, please. There you go. So he's pushed a few vehicles over here, which is probably a good sign. There's last few up to there. I'm happy with that. Is it match day right now? No, it's not even match day and we've got those vehicles over there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when it is a match day. But yeah, a couple of people using that little underpass right now. Really good to see. 89 people have already used the subway line recently. Pretty good. Everything is all intertwined and connected. So by having them little subway lines as well, it also does reduce the actual passenger traffic coming into the area. But this area kind of seems to be holding it up well anyway. So I'm kind of happy with how it's pretty much turning out. Very good, Sediak. Very good right now. Right, how is the old Veganville airport doing? There's not really that much demand, is there, to be honest with you? Which I suppose is a good thing. We can take that as a good thing. Not too bad. Not too bad. So why don't we extend a little bit more over in Veganville then? So what type of road have they got? It's just a standard road over here. And get rid of Yannicky. So they're going across here by a 40, which is, yeah, fairly wide, fairly wide. And if I bring the 40 up to here, up to 60, that's not entirely a 60. What have I done? No, that's not entirely a 60. Is something... Oh, it's off because of this. Ah. Now I remember. So if I do it like this first. And then bring all these down. So I think the crossover happens on this one. Yeah. Crossover's just on this one right now. So I'll extend this road, cutting all the way down to here by 10. Then if I went for a 20 by 20 bend, which it actually kind of does throw us off slightly. So if I go for by a 20 by 21, just to kind of mimic that connection just here, so we're pushing back up. We are then still enabling ourselves to have the connection. The land does drop off a little bit. Let's just pause real quick. So let's kind of bulk that area out a bit. Oh, that's not the button. So go from the bottom first to bring this out. Smoothing all that on top. There we go. Looks a bit more natural. Now, obviously, the water is going to rise and water the vegans. But at least now we have these abilities. So that's a straight connection into here. So I'll bring that to there. And that is technically the only connection we've got from leading on that side into it. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe that would connect over to there at some point. Who knows? But we have that. I mean, does the speed limit change on that road is the question. So the speed limits are 40 on the main streets and they're 50 here. So you would consider that to be a quicker route. Like, say if you lived here, it might be quicker to kind of... I don't know if it would be quicker to drive all the way down there. I'm not 100% sure. But it's just... We'll see. We'll see. Right, so I need to get businesses and stuff down. So let me kind of first finish up on the water. So, because we don't really have much of an industrial demand, our new industrial areas. Right, so I've got some residential in here, because I'm going to put all the commercial around, well, the majority of it, around on this main dragger road. So if I kind of pick this up on both sides, leading up to there, and then kind of slowly start filling in the corner angled sections leading in. There we go. And then, yeah, I might as well just take it all the way up. I don't know how much of it's going to be filled up. It's actually going to be quite a big shopping district, really, isn't it? It really, I mean, the shopping I mean, they love doing their shopping, don't they, and buying their turnips. They really do. They really do. Holy moly. Which might lead to me then needing to extend this road or connect it somewhere else. But I feel like this would be okay, because they could potentially utilize the roundabout go around. I don't know how much is going to be used from it. But yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine right now, which then spending that residential and commercial demand at this point, the rest of this industrial should then slowly grow. It is requiring some workers. Now, it could be the fact that the unemployment rate is quite low. Yeah, so there's not really that many people around or available to kind of take those jobs, which kind of makes sense. But then again, I've just pumped in a load of commercial, which is going to be jobs. But I need more residential coming in. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? It's all swings and roundabouts. So that will kind of build up quite nicely for us right now, which is looking pretty good. So guys, let me know what you think. Should I stick a cargo airport on top of the ore town mountainous region just here? It'll be a nice little feature. I think it will look really, really cool. But for right now, though, things are rocking and rolling just fine. They really are. I don't think we got any major issues. Let me just check Oil Town. I haven't checked you in a while. This is still the same. Ain't really going to change as much, but it might reduce as more and more places for planes slowly start opening up. You never know. You never know. That's going to Rockfield right now. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. So many planes. So many planes. And I also believe, or might think, that we start to get the airport used a bit more as we got now the kind of the subway lines connected to them. 306 people use this. That's either passing over to get onto new lines or using it to kind of get to other lines. It's actually technically quicker for someone to get from here to here by switching 2 lines than going all the way around. So that could be another reason why that's being used quite a lot. There is a football game about to happen, because I can see people walking in. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. This being used quite a bit too, so it's all beneficial. Everything we've done so far is beneficial to somebody, which is really, really good. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.